Hi children, today we are going to study about communicable diseases. Last class we discussed about what is a disease and the two types of diseases, non-communicable and communicable disease. Non-communicable diseases are the diseases which do not spread from one person to another, but communicable diseases are the diseases which spread from one person to another, like cold, cough, fever and all. These communicable diseases, if they are spreading from one person to another, there should be a carrier for this. And these carriers are actually microbes or germs. What is a microbe? A microbe is a small living organism. These microbes or germs are of different types. Bacteria, protozoa and virus. These are the three main types of germs or microbes that cause communicable diseases. Some examples of the diseases caused by them are given here. Bacteria causes diseases like plague, tuberculosis, pneumonia, typhoid and all. Protozoa causes diseases like malaria, amoebic dysentery. Virus causes diseases like polio, chickenpox, common cold, fever and all. And the most dangerous one is actually the virus. Now these microbes or microorganisms, they spread the diseases in different ways. It can be by coughing, spitting or sneezing. A person who is infected by any of these germs, if they cough, spit or sneeze, the germs from that person will be transferred through the air into a healthy person. And there is a chance for the next person or the healthy person to get infected. These germs enter through the nose or mouth of the person, healthy person. That is what we are facing now. That is the danger that we are facing now. We have been using mask for the past few months. It has become a habit or a part of our life now. The main purpose of using it is to avoid the germs of COVID-19 or the coronavirus to enter, preventing it from entering into our mouth or nose. And that is a way for the germs to enter into our body. So we are stopping it by using a mask. So germs can enter into a person's body, a healthy person's body, by coughing, spitting or sneezing. These germs enter through the nose or mouth. The next way is through food and water. Contaminated or polluted or dirty food and water always cause diseases to living things. The next is through cuts in the skin. If there is any wound or cut in the skin, germs can easily enter through that and cause diseases. That is why normally if you keep the wound exposed, it starts getting infected. That is because even if you are not seeing the germs or if you are not able to see what is happening, actually the germs are entering through it and causing infection. That is why it is always advised to close the wound with a neat and sterile piece of cloth. So these are the different ways by which the microbes or the germs like bacteria, protozoa and virus enters into a healthy person's body. We have different types of diseases and they all are caused through different ways. Let us take a detailed look into how it is happening. The first way by which diseases are spread is through direct contact with an infected person. Direct contact means using the articles or clothing or any other objects or sharing the room with an infected person. That is the most dangerous situation and there is a chance for getting the disease faster or spreading the disease faster. Second way is from infected food and water. Normally, mosquitoes or flies or cockroach, they have a habit of sitting in the decayed food items or the waste materials. And after that, if there is a chance for them to come and mistake. And after that, if they happen to sit on the food item, they dispose or they deposit the germs in that food item or the water. And what happens is, if we intake that food item or water, we will be affected by the disease. Because along with that food item or water, the germs also enter into our body. So that is advice, always we have to cook food properly, boil water properly, and after cooking or boiling, we have to cover them with a clean lid. Cooking food and boiling water and keeping them open is of no use. So after cooking the food or after boiling water, we have to cover it properly and store it in clean containers so that there is no germs in it. So that is the best way we can prevent diseases that is spread through infected food and water. And never try to drink water without boiling. Even the milk from a deceased cow can cause diseases. So we are moving on to the next way by which diseases are spread. It is through the air that we breathe, that we cannot control, isn't it? So if an unhealthy or a diseased person cough or sneeze, the germs from that person gets dispersed to the air, and through that air as a medium, the germs are transferred to a healthy person. So that is how air acts as a medium for transferring the germs. Next method is through insects. Insects are the main reasons for getting the disease spread. Insects means mainly mosquitoes. And we know that wherever there is stagnant water, mosquitoes breed. Not only mosquitoes, flies, bugs, they are all carriers of different types of diseases. When we take the case of mosquitoes, female mosquitoes have the ability to suck blood, while male mosquitoes, they only suck water and fruit juices. So who is the reason for spreading the diseases? Of course, it is the female mosquitoes. These mosquitoes or flies, they suck the blood from the infected person, and when they sit on a healthy person's body, they inject that blood into the healthy person's body, and that germ is transferred to that healthy person, thereby infecting that healthy person also. We have two examples here. Dengue fever that has killed many people. It has also become a big social issue to deal with. So this dengue fever is spread by a mosquito named Aedes mosquito. This mosquito carries the microbe or the germ causing dengue fever, and it deposits or injects into a healthy person's body, thereby spreading the disease. Same way, malaria. Malaria is also a dreadful disease. Malaria is caused by female Anopheles mosquito. What is the name? Female Anopheles mosquito. This mosquito has the ability to carry protozoa. I just told you that protozoa is a germ that causes malaria. So this protozoa will be present in a person, and that person will be infected by the disease. So what happens is, when this female Anopheles mosquito sits on a deceased person, a person having malaria, it sucks the blood from the person. Along with the blood, the protozoa is also coming to the mosquito. And what happens? When this mosquito sits on a healthy person and injects this blood, the protozoa is also injected into the healthy person's body. This is how it spreads, and it spreads faster. Okay? So these are the important ways by which diseases are spread. But the next method is through carriers. Carriers are actually healthy human beings. A person who is healthy may be having a germ inside his body, but as he is healthy, he will not be infected by the disease. But if an unhealthy person comes in contact with this healthy person, he can get this disease either by direct contact or by the air, by coughing, spitting, sneezing and all, standing near to the unhealthy person. So it is not necessary that a person who is having the germ should be infected. He can act as a carrier to spread the disease to an unhealthy person. So this is how human beings acts as a carrier of the disease. A healthy human being acts as a carrier to spread the disease to an unhealthy person. One such disease is AIDS. AIDS is a disease that is spread through carriers, a healthy person. This AIDS is spread by a virus, HIV, human immunovirus. And this disease is a very dangerous disease. It affects the whole immune system of a person's body. Immune system, what is immunity? Immunity means the power to resist diseases or the power to fight against any organisms that attack our body like germs. So if AIDS or the virus attacks the immune system, the person's immunity reduces. That means the power to resist the germs reduces. If the immunity or the immune power of the person reduces, he will start getting diseases, different types of disease. Actually, AIDS does not kill the person because he is having the disease. Many other diseases starts attacking that person, and that is how it leads to death. So that is also a dangerous disease. It is a communicable disease which affects the immune system of a person. So these are the different ways by which diseases are spread from one person to another. It can be through direct contact by using the clothing or things used by an infected person. It can be by food and water, from the food and water, that is polluted food and water that a person is having. It can be from the air that we breathe by coughing, spitting and sneezing. This germs can spread into the air and affect other person. It can be from insects. So to prevent breeding of mosquitoes or other insects, we have to do or adopt some methods so that we can prevent the spreading of diseases through mosquitoes or other insects. And the last one is through carriers, that is healthy person. So these diseases, when they spread, they can even lead to death. As it is a very dangerous situation, that is the spreading of communicable diseases is a very dangerous situation. We have to take proper care and measures to prevent the spreading of diseases. Here we will discuss about a very few methods to prevent spreading of communicable diseases. The first method is all articles used by a diseased person should be disinfected or boiled to kill the germs, because disinfecting or boiling always kills the germs to almost 99%. So that should be done. The articles used by the person, the clothing, the linen, the mattress, then the articles like plates, other utensils used by the person, the room should be disinfected, the floor must be disinfected. So all this should be done so that the area or the things used by the person is made germ free, so that we can prevent the spread of disease. Second method is children who are suffering from communicable diseases should be kept away from the school. They should not be sent to school, because we know that in a classroom or in a school there are so many children. It is not one or two child there. There are so many children, and the spreading of communicable diseases occurs at a faster rate. So in the school, maintaining a distance between the children is not possible as you have a limited area for children to sit in a class. So better keep away from the school so that the spreading can be prevented. And we have an advanced medical field now so as to provide medicines for almost all types of diseases. So better be cured and then come back to school. The third point is houses should be kept airy and open. Airy means air circulation. Air should get into the room and go out of the room. Air passage should be there in the room. So airy and open. Opening and keeping the room is for the sunlight to enter into the room. Sunlight and air are actually natural disinfectants. They have the ability to kill the germs. So what happens is if you keep your houses airy and open, sunlight and air gets into the room and almost all the germs can be killed by this process. Don't ever close all the windows and doors. It is very suffocating as well as the germs will not be killed. So always when you are at your home, try to open all the windows, let fresh air and sunlight enter into your rooms and kill the germs naturally. The next method is purifying drinking water. Only if we drink pure water, we can be healthy because most of the diseases are spread through impure water or polluted water. And getting pure water is a very difficult task now because wherever we turn, we can see that everywhere it is polluted because of our activities itself. So the best way to get pure water is by boiling it. Boiling can kill the germs. We can use water purifiers, that is also preferred nowadays. Water purifiers also kill the germs to some extent. So boiling water, using water filters are all the methods adopted to purify water. And large scale purification of water is done by chlorination. Chlorination is a method of adding chlorine into the drinking water. Normally when you get tap water, some days you feel that there is smell and taste of chlorine because the water that you get is having chlorine added to it in order to kill the germs. That is the first method that we adopt to kill the germs. The second method, obviously, it is boiling water or using a water filter to make it more pure. The next method is pasteurization. Have you heard about this word pasteurization? Pasteurization is actually a method adopted to make milk free of germs. I told you that milk from a diseased cow can cause infection. So milk also contains germs. We have to boil milk at least half an hour and then cool it suddenly to kill the germs. This process is termed as pasteurization. So what is pasteurization? Boiling milk at a high temperature for at least half an hour and cooling down suddenly or quickly, it is called pasteurization. Why is it done? To kill the germs. The next method is having wire screens at your home, in the rooms. We know that everywhere there are mosquitoes and mosquitoes are the best carriers of germs. So wherever we find stagnant water, just pour it off so that mosquito does not breed. Mosquitoes normally breed in stagnant water. But can you pour away the water in a pond or a swimming pool? No, that is not possible. So normally we add a few drops of oil on top of pond water in order to prevent the mosquito from laying eggs. So if we prevent the methods of breeding of mosquitoes or the availability of space for mosquitoes to breed, we can control the diseases spread by mosquitoes to some extent. Next one, toilets and bathrooms must be cleaned regularly. That is a place where you discharge your waste and that contains so much of germs also. So it is the most important area to be kept clean. Cleanliness should start from your toilets and bathrooms. So preventing or adopting preventive measures in your toilets and bathrooms can control the spreading of diseases to a great extent. Next one, stop breeding of mosquitoes. I told you once, breeding of mosquitoes always happens in stagnant water. So, don't allow water to remain stagnant so that we can prevent the spreading of mosquitoes. Same way, we can use mosquito repellent coils, then creams. Mosquito repellent creams are used, mosquito net is used, wire screens are used. All these help to prevent mosquitoes from biting us so that we can reduce the spreading of diseases. Next one, kitchen should be kept rid of insects, because kitchen is the place where you cook food and food should always be kept neat. So, if there is any chance for insects or flies to breed, just avoid it so that your food is fresh and good to eat. And the last one is drains should be covered. Drain or drainage system is where you have wastewater. So that is also a place for mosquitoes to breed too much. So drains should always be covered so that the flies or mosquitoes will not come into direct contact with this wastewater or drainage water. So these are some important things. It does not stop here. There are many more. So these are the very few important things that you have to keep in mind to prevent the spreading of communicable diseases. And another method is vaccination. It is strictly a medical thing that we have to adopt. Vaccination is actually acquiring immunity against a certain disease. If we are having less immunity against this disease, you can acquire it by vaccinating, by getting vaccinated. Okay? These are some diseases which have vaccines available now. Diphtheria, cholera, typhoid, tetanus, polio, measles, mumps. They all have vaccines available which improves our immunity against these diseases. And in olden days, there was a dreadful disease called polio. Polio is actually caused by a virus, and that virus attacks the person's spinal cord and makes the person paralyzed. So there was a time when the future generation had a threat of this polio disease, and government adopted a pulse polio campaign by which all the children under the age of 5 years are given polio vaccine. Actually, it is not a vaccine, it is drops, but it is called polio vaccine. And they succeeded in removing this disease from here. That means all the children under the age of 5 were given this polio medicine or polio drops, and the disease could be completely thrown away from our place. So vaccination is a much more better way to get immunity or to resist a communicable disease. So these are some important things that we have to keep in mind, that we have to follow in order to protect our body from disease. So we learned about food, that means a balanced diet, regular exercise, enough rest, and protection from diseases which makes us healthy. Then we learned about what is a disease, 2 types of disease, communicable and non-communicable disease. Communicable diseases, they are spreading from one person to another. We learned different methods of preventing it, different methods by which it is spreading. We learned about non-communicable diseases, that is actually deficiency disease. The lack of vitamins and minerals in our body, what can be a situation when we lack a certain minerals and vitamins in our body. So I hope you all have understood. Go through your textbook and make it more clear. Thank you.